What's up everyone? In this video we'll discuss the topic of escaping the matrix, and so we're going to look at 3 levels of emotional awareness using this analogy from the movie The Matrix. And so if you've watched the movie The Matrix, you should be familiar with this scene where Morpheus is talking with Neo about the rules and the laws inside the matrix. So that scene at the beginning of the movie where Morpheus explains what the matrix is and how it's a simulation, then this is kind of the scene that we're going to use here. And for those that haven't watched the movie, I highly recommend it. And for those that have seen it, I recommend you rewatch it with this new perspective around emotions. So there's a scene in the Matrix where Morpheus, being the sensei, being the master, is telling Neo, which is the student here, about the possibility to bend reality in the Matrix. So basically telling him he can do whatever he likes in this simulation that is the Matrix. So here, I'll use this analogy that we're living in a simulation to think about how we can understand and manage emotions. So there would be 3 levels of awareness in the Matrix, similar to how there's 3 levels of emotional awareness according to me. So first you have the people living in the Matrix. So people that are not realizing that this is a simulation. And these people would be the equivalent of those who react impulsively to their emotions. So they don't see, they don't understand what's going on. They just have a burning feeling to act out their emotions, and they simply do it. So whenever they feel anger, they act it out. They tilt, they punch the wall, they scream. So they live their emotions, which leads to impulsive reactions and often bad outcomes. So that's level 1 of awareness, this foundational level. So you basically don't dissociate the emotion from the reaction. They come together. You don't realize you have emotions, you just have a burning feeling and then you act it out. So that would be level 1. And then there's this moment in the movie where you have Morpheus telling Neo that he's living in that simulation and that reality can be bent and changed. And in that moment, Neo starts to realize that, well, maybe I can dodge bullets in that reality, in the Matrix. Maybe I can dodge the bullets. And that would be the equivalent here in our real world of people realizing that emotions exist. So emotions are the bullets that we're trying to dodge or trying to avoid in our lives. We try to avoid anger, we try to avoid frustration, we try to avoid fear. So most people are living at this level. They understand that emotions can be bad, that they don't want to react impulsively to them, so they try to dodge the bullets. They try to dodge these emotions. They try to avoid the negative emotions. They don't live them, they repress them. So that would be level 2 awareness. You know emotions exist. You know or think you know that most emotions are bad, so you will try to dodge them. You would try to avoid them. So here Neo would try to dodge the bullets whenever he's under attack. And if you got to this point of the bundle, you know there's another level to it, right? And that's where it gets really interesting. And so when Neo tells Morpheus, so you're telling me I can bend reality? You're telling me I can dodge bullets? I can dodge emotions? And Morpheus actually responds by saying, no, I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to. You won't have to dodge the bullets. You won't have to dodge the emotions. So what does that mean? Well, basically, it means that when you see the bullets come, you don't have to react to them, and they don't have to affect you in any way or kill you. And so same goes for your emotions. Emotions come, you live them out, you don't try to change them, fight them, or resist them. And I think that's what people have a harder time understanding, in my opinion. They think they have to dodge the bullets, but in reality, they don't need to. They don't need to act on their emotions. They can let them pass through them, let the emotion or take the information in from the emotion, choose your response if there's a need for one. So let's recap these 3 levels of awareness. First, you have level 1, you're living in the matrix, you're unaware of your emotions, you're acting impulsively. There's no distance between the emotion and your reaction. Level 2, you're trying to dodge the bullets. The matrix is revealed, you know about emotions, but you try to avoid them, to resist them at all costs, because you assume that most of them are bad or unhelpful, right? And finally, we have this 3rd level where you realize that the matrix is a creation of your mind. You realize you don't have to react to the emotions. You can accept them, welcome them, and you no longer have to avoid them. They will come, they will pass through you, and you can remain unaffected. So I hope this can help you reflect on how you see emotions and how you might have learned in the past that you need to act on your emotions. When you feel the emotional tension rise up, you don't necessarily need to do anything to make it go away. Just be present with the emotion and let it subside on its own. Let the bullet hit you and realize that it's not hurting you in any ways, just like in the Matrix. And in the sensation section, we'll look at ways to diminish the emotional tension using the breath and basically diminishing the emotional tension that is associated with a difficult or challenging emotion. And before I let you go, I wanted to do a quick recap of some of the principles related to feelings and emotions. So here are some of these principles. First, we have what we first discussed, stress. So this perceived imbalance between the demands of a situation and your ability to meet those demands. So think about these two variables whenever you're experiencing an increased amount of stress. The demands of your situation and your ability to meet them. There are no positive or negative emotions, only adaptive and maladaptive responses to these emotions. And so please repeat this sentence to yourself on and on and on until it becomes automatic. I think this is probably one of the most important principles to remind yourself of. And just closely linked to this idea, your ability to respond to an emotion will dictate the value of the emotion. So it's your ability to react adaptively to your emotions that will reinforce the perspective that there are no positive or negative emotions, just positive or negative responses. And something that we might not realize yet, you do not have the obligation to react to your emotions. You can let them come to you, you experience them physically in your body and mentally, and then you let them go away. Which lead to this last concept of impermanence of emotions. This too shall pass. So no emotion will last forever unless you choose to live in that mental state deliberately. All right, so that's it for this one. See you in the next video. Take care, everyone.